Hey there YouTube. So in this video we're going to be installing a all aluminum radiator from Champion Cooling Systems into our 1970 Oldsmobile Cutlass. Currently this Cutlass has the stock original radiator and it's having some cooling issues, so we're going to go ahead and replace it with this Champion all aluminum radiator. Let's go ahead and unbox this radiator and take a look and see what we get with it. This Champion radiator is the 2-core radiator. It is the EC161. It's their Pro Series. I think I got it for around $150 online and shipped free to my house. So let's go ahead and bust into this thing. Now they have many different radiators on their website. This one was specifically for my application, but they have like LS conversion ones and pretty much anything you really need. So this one is pretty much exactly like the one in mine, but all aluminum. We have the transmission cooler, we have the lower radiator hose, the upper radiator, and then we also have the drain plug in the bottom and cap here. We also have a spot so that we have an overflow tank. Yeah, looks pretty much exactly like one I have, just aluminum. Now let's go ahead and go to the car and remove that old one out of there. Now to remove this radiator, it's pretty simple. First thing I want to do is drain it. I'm just going to pull the lower radiator hose down there to drain the bottom. That should get pretty much everything out of it. And then we're going to go ahead and take out those 4 screws or bolts across the top there that will hold the radiator top support in. And then what we're going to do is undo the upper radiator hose right there. And yeah, I think that's about it. Then we'll pull it up out of there. I have the fan kind of connected. I knew I was replacing this radiator, so I just kind of zip tied it for now while it was hanging. It's just temporary. But we'll put it back together with real zip ties meant for this after. So we're going to go ahead and kind of fast forward me taking apart this, and I'll show you when it's out. And there we go. The radiator is now out of the vehicle. And I'll clean up this transmission fluid and radiator fluid in a minute off camera. But let's go and take a look and see why we're replacing this. This is the old one. I got it when I bought the car. We left up the fan here. So now with the fan off, you can see that someone already patched this. So that's just a whole bunch of quick seal that they did right there, and obviously it was leaking before, so it was leaking a little bit when I was using it too. So we're just going to go ahead and replace it with that new radiator. So let's go ahead and prep the area and get that new one installed. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and install that new radiator. I already have it out of the packaging. take the radiator. Make sure nothing's in the way while you're doing this, but go ahead and just slide it down the exact same way you took the old one out. Should fit into the 2 rubber grommets in the bottom just perfectly, which mine does. See a little snug fit there. It's looking really good. And pretty much it's just backwards process of doing the other one. One thing to note, and I'll show you on the lower radiator hose, the lower radiator hose on mine is too large. The hose is too large for the actual hole for the radiator, because this is the universal radiator for like the A-bodies and stuff like that. So I had to end up buying a radiator hose reducer. This is a 1 3/4 inch down to 1.5 inches. This should get me what I need to do to actually get this radiator hose sealed up correctly, but I'll show you that when I get down to the lower radiator hose. But for now, I'm just going to hook up the top and hook up these transmission lines real quick, and then we'll do the lower one. Actually, I went ahead and decided that we're going to do the lower radiator hose first before the transmission lines. Seems like it's going to be easier to get to without the transmission lines in the way. So I went ahead and took the reducer apart out of the package. And let's go ahead and take a look, see how this works. So we have this reducer. It goes right over top of where this radiator part goes, or radiator flange. And then we can take our lower radiator hose. We should just be able to slide it right over top of this. And sure enough, that works perfectly. So I'll go ahead and get the band on there. This little band. I think I bought that reducer for like $11 off Amazon. So between the radiator and the reducer, that's pretty much all I needed for this upgrade. And the reducer seems like a nice quality too. Nice quality reducer. Be very careful not to Alright, that's installed there. Let's go ahead and do the transmission lines. Hopefully they're about the same spots. I'm trying not to scratch the radiator here. Might lift the radiator out of here real quick and give myself a little more space. Might need to bend the lines a little bit, make it go in the right spot. So I'm going to go ahead and finagle with these things off camera, get these in the right spot, so that way I can tighten up these transmission lines. Alright, I went ahead and moved those transmission lines into a better spot. They're at least started now. You want to be really careful when starting these bolts, because you don't want to cross thread them into the hole, because then you're working with getting it tapped out or fixed somehow by a radiator shop, and you just spend $150 on this new radiator. So be extremely careful with that. And when they're snugged up, they're snugged up. You don't want to pull the threads out either. Okay, both of those are in there. And then we'll go ahead and do this upper radiator hose. So over here, this one I didn't have to buy a reducer. This was the right size. There we go. That's all all on there now. Next is we'll go ahead and put the fan on here, so that way we get that all done before putting the cap on. So my fan's pretty easy to install. I use these nylon mounting rods. I got them from Advance Auto. I think they're about $6 or so. Comes with a 4-pack, so I go ahead and use these to mount the fan on because it's nice and easy. It's not permanent. They're just like zip ties. You know how to use a zip tie. You know how to use these. So just gonna go ahead and do this. There we go. The fan is installed. Next, we're going to go ahead and clean off this, and we'll set the cap onto here. All right, the new radiator is all installed. All I have to do now is hook up the fan that I unplugged. There we go. New radiator is all set. And now in the vehicle. So I'm not going to put any antifreeze in this yet, because my antifreeze looks like that, and I do not like that. So I'm going to go ahead and buy some new antifreeze, but I don't have any here, and I'll be filling it up later. But I'm sure you'll see this car running in the future with this new radiator and one of my other YouTube videos. But if you could, just go ahead and put a like on this video, and also throw a subscribe onto my channel, and check out my other videos. Thanks for watching.